Hello, and good evening. Welcome to this very, very special edition of the Average Justin Show. My name is Justin.
And I'm Cornelius Bradberry.
Good evening, Cornelius.
Good evening, Justin.
So, Cornelius, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in the year 1860 into a very, very poor family. We lived in a tenement in New York City. I went into the coal mine industry at the age of 5, and I died at the age of 38. It was a miserable life.
Sad to hear. So, Cornelius, you said you lived in a tenement up in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you just explain a little bit of how that was?
Well, when I hear the word tenement, I just think overcrowded. That's how my whole life was one big crowd. One you can't call it an apartment building because it was basically the size of a house with about 20 rooms and just a bunch of people living in it. So yeah, all the living conditions were just super overcrowded back in my day. But they seemed to get better as technology improved with the transportation, and people could live farther and farther away from the city, and as that happened, suburbs began to form, actually. Yeah. But how is the living conditions today, Justin?
Well, Cornelius, you'll be pleased to hear that living conditions are great these days, you know? Many laws have been passed, so tenements are not a thing anymore. Laws like the New York State Tenement Act of 1901 was passed to just improve living conditions in general, you know? It said that required that all buildings built, in every single room there must be a window. There must be proper ventilation. Indoor toilets must be installed to every space. And yeah, depending on where you live, living conditions can be great.
Oh, that's excellent. Really great to hear that it's improved.
Indeed. So, Cornelius, you say working conditions have been pretty terrible back in the day.
Yes, they were quite horrific, actually. Yeah, the hours were god-awful. People would be working 90-hour weeks. Also, it was just very dangerous work. I experienced many deaths right next to me. It was quite terrifying. Also, the wages were completely awful. Children would earn less than 10 cents an hour, while adults would earn 10 cents or more, maybe 15 cents. But, you know, the people eventually had enough, and they revolted and they formed labor unions. And the American Federation of Labor said, you know, we need better wages, better hours, and safer working conditions, and they got those. And are those still in place, Justin?
Well, Cornelius, those labor unions are still intact today. For example, teacher unions, still intact. I'm also pleased to say that health and safety on the job has become a top priority for most businesses. Also for the pay, the Fair Labor Standards Act requires all managers to pay their employees minimum wage.
So what is minimum wage?
It's about $11 an hour.
$11 an hour. Wow.
Indeed. They also state that you can only work 40 hours a week, not including overtime.
Only 40 hours? Wow, that's nothing compared to my time.
Only 40 hours, yes. And to ensure the safety on the job, the Occupational Safety and Health Association looks over most businesses.
Well, Justin, I have a question for you, actually. Back in my day, disease was probably the lead causer of death, actually, you know, because all of us were living in our tenements so close together. If one person got, say, tuberculosis, it seemed like the whole tenement would fall ill of this disease. How have we as a society changed in this?
Well, Cornelius, you shall be pleased to hear that advancements in medication have greatly helped preventing these diseases. Indeed. Well, Cornelius, thank you very much for coming on the show. would you like to close it with any?
Yes, I would really appreciate that. Thank you for having me first, Justin. I would also like to say that it's clear that our society has done a great job in fixing these problems and implementing this gentrification. I'm very pleased on what our people have done to this land, and I'm just overall, I'm happy with what I see.
Well, Cornelius, thank you for coming on. We hope to see you on the next very, very special edition of the Average Justin Show.
And I look forward to seeing you there. I died.
Just
it's not even evening.
Don't look. And good evening. All right, just don't cut that. Don't cut that. Ready? Hello.